All right, so news in the NBA for the past week or two. Blake Griffin, of course, was bought out by the Pistons and signed with the Brooklyn Nets. Already got my videos covered on that side of things, that was huge for the side and it was huge for the NBA, which keeps more drama and it keeps things more centered on a potential LA versus Brooklyn finals. Um, we did see All Star Weekend go down with Steph Curry did win the 3 point contest in great fashion on a game winner against Mike Conley, and Mike Conley wasn't even supposed to be there. It was supposed to be Devin Booker, but we did see the best out of the best when he was an alternative. So good for him. Kudos. I mean, Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, so good to him to see he win another 3 point contest. And bringing back, some highlights in the All Star Weekend in general. Skills Challenge, Sabonis did take on the champion of being the Skills Challenge winner. After last season, he did lose to Bam Adebayo in the finals, so you really got to see Sabonis, ecstatic after he beats. Um, well, I can't even remember who he took in the finals. I think it was Vucevic. So kudos to Domantas Sabonis. The dunk contest was whack. I'm talking around zero point 0.5 out of 10 performance. Um, you only had three contestants to say the least, but um, Cassius Stanley, his first dunk was the best out of any dunks out there in general. It only got a 44, which it should have been around a 47 on my end, if anything like that. I mean, he did jump off the same foot when he had that dunk. Everything else was pretty much trash when it came to the other dunks out there. Obi Toppin, um, he had that one nice dunk over his father and Julius Randle. But besides from that, the final round was trash for all these players. Simmons did not even kiss the rim, and I'm sorry, but that dude looked like he was high and blazed out of his mind, and something like he didn't even care. And he won the trophy, which was, oh man, uh, Obi Toppin's last dunk since he couldn't get that. I believe it was like a 360 or such fourth, and he just had that normal dunk. Um, it was laughable, man. It's trash. It's trash. And players like Zion Williamson, John Morant, Miles Bridges, Anthony Edwards should have been in the exposition, but it looks like they have no intentions of coming, which is sad because the NBA, a bunch of young players, rookies or sophomores, are supposed to, especially stars, are supposed to use this young time to where they go and do the dunk contest. But it is what it is. Whatever, man. But that's on All Star Weekend. I mean, you did see Team LeBron defeat Team KD by 20 points. Damian Lillard, Steph Curry were automatic from logo shots, let alone to deep threes. And Giannis took home the trophy for the Kobe Bryant All Star MVP. 16 of 16 performance shooting, 100%, and over around 30 points. Don't remember the numbers, but you can tell Giannis from the very beginning wanted that All Star MVP. And what he would do is he would just back you in the paint and dunk it. And he knew no one played defense, so he was good where he was at. He did make a couple threes, a couple banks, so kudos to him. Let's jump into the NBA standings side of things and go a little more deeper into in depth. All right, so the Philadelphia 76ers are still number one in the Eastern Conference. Um, you do have Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons didn't play in the All Star game, and they will miss a couple games due to COVID protocols. So fully expect the Brooklyn Nets to take on the number one seed as they're half a game behind and adding Blake Griffin. And Kevin Durant's getting healthier as it can be. So the Nets are number one in power rankings, if anything. They're on a hot trend, and will continue to be so. Let's see here. The Boston Celtics are finally coming back up after being pretty much out of the playoff picture the last week or two with the 19 and 17 record. So they got to pick it up. And if you're Danny Ainge, you need to pick up another pretty big name out there. Very curious to see if a Kemba Walker trade will go down with, but there hasn't been any NBA rumors, anything along those lines. So I expect the Celtics at the end of the day, they usually keep the same roster. So um, it is what it is there. The Eastern Conference only has three main contenders, which are going to be the Sixers, the Nets are the main two, and then the Bucks will be down there. And then after that bubble, you do have the Celtics. Everything else is out of there. Kudos to the Knicks, 19 and 18, sitting at a fifth seed, only half a game away from the fourth. Wow, it's big time. Let's see here, the Miami Heat with the sixth seed, 500 record. Good to see them. The Charlotte Hornets have great momentum. I like what they're doing. Um, the Hornets are looking to bring in Evan Fournier, which would be a huge piece for them. A 6'7" shooting guard vet that would fit in ideally within their franchise. I got nothing to say with these other teams at the bottom end. See, the Pistons are rebuilding, as we can tell. Blake Griffin's gone. The Wizards, hopefully they can get a hotter trend and reach that 500 mark, which is they've been expecting to do. The Hawks just got a new head coach. Let's see how the interim does. And the Pacers are dripping down. Not a good look for them. Maybe we'll see some trades go down with. If you're Chicago, you really want to make that playoff push if you're Zach LaVine. In the Western Conference, let's see here with the Phoenix Suns, a second seed. Good for them. They're on a high trend, on a good note. Chris Paul, Devin Booker were all stars. Kudos. Let's see. The Dallas Mavericks are now back in the playoff standings. Actually, this is the first time they're in the playoff standings, so it's really good for them. The Warriors are in the ninth seed, so they need to pick it up. And I've told you guys from the very beginning, the Spurs will be around in the playoff seedings for the first couple of weeks or so, and then they'll dip down. And we're seeing that they're only a game and a half away from a ninth seed. I expect the Spurs to not make the playoffs. The Warriors should make it in within them to replace them. The Jazz, the number one seed, that's probably still going to happen. With Anthony Davis out, the Lakers are going to be in that bimbo mode. So I've always said the lowest they could be is a four seed, but they'll be around that 2 to 4. The Nuggets, they need to win more games if you're Jokic to pretty much be top one or top two in MVP considerations. Six seed won't let it fly. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean nothing much to really talk about. The main thing in the West is the Phoenix Suns being a second seed, and then the Dallas Mavericks finally reaching the playoffs, and then in the East was going to be the Boston Celtics finally coming back to earth with the four seed, and Blake Griffin to the Nets. So we'll cover a little more here. And reach out to next week's or so standings and NBA.